All right, well, welcome to this week's edition of Easy Game Radio. I am your host, AJ. It is April 14th. Tomorrow's tax day, but way more important than that was this weekend's Masters. This was one of the most profound sports moments of my life. I caught most of it. If you think that this year's Masters did not exceed expectations, I want to learn what your standard is, because this was amazing. The whole week was amazing. Everything leading up to it was amazing. And then the rounds and the conclusion of it, really a treat in itself. So starting off with round one, Justin Rose kind of comes out of nowhere. I don't think that there were a lot of people really expecting him to make the showing that he did. He shoots a 7 under 65, open up his first round of this year's tournament. This is the fifth time that he has been leading after the first round at the Masters. That's a tournament record. Scottie Scheffler, him and Rory, overall favorites to win. He, along with Corey Connors and Ludwig, they trailed by 3 strokes at the end of the first round at 4 under. Rory McIlroy, of course, wanting his career Grand Slam. He starts with a modest score that really didn't show how well he played because of his blow up. He shoots 72. He's tied for 27th at the end of the first round. He was on track to shoot below 70. It would have been his first time, or no, he's had one opening round at Augusta in the 60s, and he was on track. He was sitting at 4 under. Then he has his blow up. He has 2 double bogeys in the last couple holes. And everybody's thinking, like, Rory's done. He's choked. Pressure's all there. This is the Rory that everybody's come to predict or expect or want or hate to see as well. But there's a lot of struggles in the first round. Justin Thomas, I was watching his broadcast on the ESPN app. A lot of hot mics coming out of Justin. Had some GDs getting thrown out there. Nick Dunlap, he made headlines shooting a 90. And then throughout the weekend, people talking about his resiliency, coming back, having a great round on Friday as well. But he could have easily withdrawn after the first day. Akshay, he showed nerves. His driver was just going all over the place. John Rahm looked like frustrated John. I didn't think he was going to make the cut, and he survived. But round one was already kind of shaping the fireworks for the weekend. It set the tone. The weather was great. There was some wind, but the forecast was just looking better and better for the weekend. So round one kind of sets the tone. Round two, Justin Rose finishes as the leader. He puts up a 1 under 71. He's now 8 under total. Bryson now shows up on the leaderboard. He shoots a 4 under 68. He is just 1 stroke behind Justin now at this time. And then Rory goes and shows that he's not done. He still wants his chance. He shoots a 6 under 66. He is now tied for 3rd, 6 under overall. So we're going to the weekend now. The cut's made. Rory takes a lead. He shoots another 66. He set a new course record, had 6 consecutive threes on holes 1 through 6. Shot all threes. Fantastic start. Bryson, he remains in contention. He finishes 2 strokes behind with a 69. Justin Rose kind of gets a little shaky. He shoots a 75. He ends round 3 in a tie for 6th. Round 4, Sunday at Augusta. Everything is shaping up to be a Bryson and Rory, kind of revisit from the Open last year, the U.S. Open last year. You could see it happening throughout Saturday, and everybody's going into Sunday just thinking, like, we got the round that we want. It's the YouTube era versus kind of a champion of the old regime. Rory, I put him in an overlapping exit of Tiger's generation. I don't think that Rory really qualifies as being separate from Tiger. However, Rory is definitely not part of the new YouTube era kind of Bryson world. 2 very different attitudes towards golf. Bryson's old attitude, his old personality, more similar to current Rory. I'm a Rory fan. I watched him when he was young, when he, the last time he won a major, sadly going back, 14 years. He was he was almost then what Bryson is now, just in a different era of sports. And of course, with, social media and the way that we consume sports now has changed so much. But back then, Rory, Jordan, Justin, Ricky, they were kind of like this new young blood of golf. Rory's old school now. He's got a lot of years left of him playing golf, but this Sunday was really going to be the battle between these two kind of cultures that are going on right now. It didn't happen. Bryson falls apart. This round was just all about Rory versus Rory, his own worst enemy against all the things that he does great. His round was a roller coaster. He starts with a double bogey. He is now carded 4 double bogeys for the whole tournament. Nobody's ever won the Masters while posting 4 double bogeys. Ludwig Oberg makes a late charge. He looked like he was in contention until just his final holes. Justin Rose, he capitalizes. He shoots a 66, ties McIlroy at 11 under after his 18, forces the playoff. Sudden death playoff. McIlroy gets victory. Birdie on the first playoff hole. He gets his green jacket. He gets his career Grand Slam. First European to ever do it. The scale of this win, if you're a Rory fan, like you felt it. I felt like I was there feeling what he could possibly be feeling. I mean, it was just such a phenomenal sporting experience the entire weekend, where, you kind of have to decide what kind of golf fan or what kind of sport fan you are to see how you appreciate it. Rory, now the 6th player in history to ever win the Grand Slam, of course, the last being Tiger and the first European. Final payouts for the top 3 at the Masters: Rory, 4.2 mil. Justin Rose gets 2.25, and Patrick Reed. All right, Liv showing up in the top 3, 1.4 mil for Patrick. It felt like throughout the weekend, the entire field was getting hot at the same time, and then struggling at the same time too. I was sitting there thinking, like, is it the wind carrying it away? What's causing this? Because it felt for a while that -15, -20 was going to be needed to win the tournament. And then all of a sudden we would see a stretch where players were just struggling. All of a sudden they're off into the trees. Scotty's hiding in the azaleas. Akshay, Minwoo just spraying driver everywhere. Minwoo on Sunday, a brutal meltdown. I wanted him in the top 20. Didn't happen. Was the first hole. He just couldn't get on the green. Walked away with a bogey that probably felt like a quad. It just felt like Augusta was giving, and then Augusta was taking from the field as well. Patrick Reed, he finishes the highest placing player from the Live Tour. Completely should have been Bryson. Bryson didn't have the Sunday that he needed. Patrick Reed gets that beautiful eagle from the fairway on par 4 17 that just gets one hop and dunks right in. He didn't even get a chance to see it. He looked around confused, like, oh, it's in? Yeah, it's in. And then just Rory Sunday and the roller coaster of that. Max Homa makes the cut. Max, I doubted you. I was glad to see it. The caddy change the week before the Masters, and with the struggles that he's had this year, he should not have made the cut. But good to see him playing well, and he's got to feel good. I'm guessing he will enter the RBC this upcoming weekend, try to lock in some of the momentum that he gained with his caddy shift, and not just let the season go on too long without just confirming the feels and seeing that this wasn't a fluke. But great to see Max make the cut. I really do wish that Minwoo would have had a better finish, especially seeing Ludwig run up the board. Having the young players do well and be exciting it's good for the game. I think that it builds storylines for the future. That would have been really great to see. But a lot of the senior players, they talked about it. Justin Rose talked about it in his post-round presser, where he said, he's grateful for the experience that he has. And Rory's talked about it too, where by coming back to Augusta year after year after year and really learning the course and how to play it and what shots you have to hit and what shots you can't hit, I think with the way that the experience brings value to the player at Augusta, it's going to be hard to see, especially like a rookie, go to Augusta and win, or the amateurs. No amateurs made the cut this year. I think we will see that you need to have really had your experience and been beaten up by Augusta before you're going to put that green jacket on. Rory's story alone, it proves it. Like Rory or hate Rory, he's one of the best golfers of all time, especially of this generation. Whether you want to call it post-Tiger, if you want to call it the end of the Tiger generation, and he doesn't fall into the new YouTube generation of golfer. But between Justin Rose and Rory McIlroy, and even Scotty Scheffler, who didn't play great, but he played great for Augusta, they get beat up. And Min Woo, he looked great and then just fell apart in the weekend, and especially on Sunday. I think he finished tied for 47th. But overall, this Masters, one of the most amazing sporting events of my lifetime. I'll even roll back 5 years to 1980, the Miracle on Ice with the U.S. men's hockey team. I don't know that I will see another event, especially with it being golf. You know, we can't throw out all of sports. I'm golf biased, but I don't know if I will see another golfing moment like I got to watch this weekend, especially having seen Rory win his first 4 majors, now complete the Grand Slam, and the next generation that has to show up and beat those records has got to now show up. Scotty Scheffler, natural pick. We'll see how his season continues to go. He's probably not happy with, a top 10 finish at Augusta. He was a contender and he looked like he might have made the charge. He just never had it. It still looked like the same Scotty that we've been seeing the entire season so far. But somebody's got to show up, because now Rory's story is complete. Will he go on and contend at majors? Of course. Will he want to win the Masters back-to-back? Of course. But Rory doesn't have 10 more years. Maybe that's the most he could possibly have. And this could be blown up, especially the way that Justin Rose played. How about Freddie Couples making the cut? This could all be blown up. But odds are it is going to be a player in their 20s that's going to come out and win multiple majors. The Brooks Koepka narrative will show back up with a new player. I think we're seeing it in Ludwig. But the Rory chapter is now complete. Now we get to enjoy what does he do next. We got to watch the next generation of golfers. But overall, one of the most amazing sporting events that I've ever witnessed. Right away, I think like the Red Sox Yankees in 2004. If you are a golf fan, and even if you like Rory or not, this was one of the most amazing Masters ever. If you are a casual observer, you are a golf fan now, and chances are you're a Rory McIlroy fan as well. When Rory was leaving the 18th, kind of doing his champions walk, and he sees Shane Lowry standing there, in the moment that they had, I lost it. Just Rory's initial reaction on the green, I lost it. Getting goosebumps right now, just talking about it again. Seeing a man go through these kinds of struggles and the ups and downs, we watched a human being just unleash all of the thoughts and doubts and validations and just absorb it all. Getting to see Rory thank his family and send that message to his daughter about never quitting. The entire Masters 2025 experience, just out of this world for me. I loved it. This will be one that future Masters will always compare to whenever I watch golf for the rest of my life. So really not much else in golf news this week, of course. Next event this upcoming weekend is the RBC Heritage down in Hilton Head. Fun tournament. I like this one. They also have the jacket, the red plaid jacket. Don't expect to see Rory in the field. Do expect to see Scotty Scheffler. He's the defending champion. 72 players, 8 of the world's top 10. $20 million purse, 700 FedEx Cup points as well on the line for this event. So it's not one to really skip. Again, that starts on the 17th on Thursday. And then following that, New Orleans to Zurich. I'm excited about this one. My wife got me tickets going for my birthday. I turned 40 this week. Taking Friday off, going to go play golf. But next weekend, I'll be down in New Orleans at the Zurich. Excited to see that. Again, this is the one where players partner up. The field will not be confirmed until this Friday once the RBC kicks off. If Rory and Shane show up and partner together, which I feel like they will, it's kind of an exhibition. You don't have to win. But if Rory and Shane are in that field, I know who I want to follow the whole time. We've got the nice seats, so we don't have to wander around, but being able to see like an unlocked Rory would be phenomenal, and they're a blast to watch in this event. So this weekend, RBC, South Carolina. Next weekend, New Orleans. First major of the year is done. Time's flying by. Rory McIlroy, Grand Slam complete. Congratulations, sir. This season has been just amazing already. So that'll wrap up this week's Easy Game Radio update. Hope you guys have a great week. File your taxes tomorrow and check out this shirt. That's going to get a lawsuit. All right, everybody, take care.
Thanks for listening. Remember to visit us at easygameradio.com. Follow us on Instagram, Easy Game Radio, and subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.